She left the house to her, my aunt said, loud enough for everyone. My cousin laughed under his breath. You've got to be kidding. She barely visited. The room stayed still. The lawyer didn't react. He just adjusted his glasses and repeated my name again. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I just sat there, hands folded, like I had expected it. But I hadn't. And what he said next made the silence heavier. There is one condition. That was the part no one saw coming. And looking back, I realized that moment changed everything. If you've ever sat quietly while people misjudged you, you'll understand what came next, and maybe you'll want to stay for the ending. The will reading was held in my grandmother's living room, same floral couch, same ticking clock. Nothing had changed except her absence. I wasn't the favorite. Everyone knew that. I was the quiet one, the one who visited without posting about it, the one who stayed after everyone left, but I never made it visible. That made it easy for them to underestimate me. My aunt leaned closer to the lawyer. There must be a mistake. There isn't, he said calmly. My cousin smirked. Guess she got lucky I didn't respond. Because I hadn't felt lucky yet. The lawyer opened another page. The property transfers to her under the condition that she lives in the house for 90 consecutive days, a pause, and completes the written instructions left by the deceased the heir shifted. Instructions? That wasn't normal. My aunt crossed her arms. Sounds dramatic, but I noticed something else. The lawyer's tone had changed. Careful, almost respectful. And that's when I realized this wasn't just a condition. It was something else. Something planned. The first night in the house felt different. Too quiet. Not empty, just waiting. I found the envelope on her bedroom desk. My name written in her handwriting. Inside was a single note. Start with the blue cabinet. Don't skip anything. That was it. No explanation. I didn't question it. I followed it. The blue cabinet was in the hallway, locked. I checked the usual places. Then I remembered something small. She used to keep spare keys inside old teacups. The third one opened it. Inside were neatly stacked folders. Old documents, receipts, letters. At first, nothing unusual, but then I saw a name repeated across multiple pages, my aunt's. That was the first moment something didn't feel right, but I didn't react. I just kept reading. Because I had a feeling this wasn't the part that mattered yet. A week passed, no one visited, but they called, often. Still staying there? My cousin asked one night. Yeah, for what? It's just a house, I paused. It doesn't feel like that. He laughed. You always overthink things, maybe, or maybe I was just paying attention. The second instruction came from another envelope. Check the attic. The box marked winter. The attic smelled like dust and old wood. The box was easy to find. Inside, photographs, but not family ones. These were documents turned into images. Copies of checks, bank slips, property drafts, and then I saw it. My grandmother's signature on something that didn't match her usual style, slightly off, repeated. I sat there longer than I expected. Because I wasn't just seeing documents anymore, I was seeing patterns. And that's when the second shift happened. Because someone in this family hadn't just been distant, they had been involved. I didn't call anyone. I didn't confront anyone. I just kept following the instructions. At this point, I need to ask you something. If you started finding pieces of a truth your family never talked about, would you stop or keep going? I kept going. The third instruction wasn't written. It was hidden. Inside an old book on her nightstand. A folded page, a key taped inside, and one line, "Now you're ready." The key led to a small lockbox in her closet. Inside was a voice recorder, old, dusty. still working. I pressed play. Her voice filled the room, calm, clear. If you're hearing this, it means you stayed. I didn't move. I knew they wouldn't. Not fully, a pause. I let certain things go for peace. But I documented everything. My chest tightened. There are things you'll find that explain why I made this decision. Another pause. And why I trusted you. That was the moment everything clicked. This wasn't about the house. It was about what was hidden inside it, and why no one else was meant to find it. That was the mini-climax. Because now I knew. I wasn't chosen randomly. I was chosen because I wouldn't rush. The final instruction came on day 88. Invite them back, no explanation, just that. So I did. Same room, same couch, different energy. My aunt walked in first. You finally done playing house? I smiled lightly, almost. My cousin leaned against the wall. So what was all that condition stuff anyway? I looked at the lawyer. He nodded. Then I placed the folders on the table, one by one, no speech, no accusations, just evidence, signed documents, altered signatures, transfers that didn't match timelines. The room went quiet. My aunt's expression shifted. That's not what it looks like. I didn't interrupt. I just pressed play on the recorder. My grandmother's voice filled the room again, steady, unshaken, explaining everything, not angrily, just clearly. That was the main climax. No yelling, no drama, just truth, sitting in the middle of the room. My cousin looked at me differently, not mocking anymore. My aunt didn't say much after that, because there wasn't much left to say. The lawyer closed his folder. Everything is documented. And just like that, it was over. Not loudly, but completely. I stayed in the house after the 90 days, not because I had to, but because I understood now. Some people leave things behind, others leave clarity. She left both. I didn't win anything that day. I just saw things as they really were, and that changed how I saw everything after. If you've ever been underestimated in silence, you know it's not weakness, it's patience. And sometimes that patience is exactly what reveals the truth. If this story stayed with you, you're not alone in that feeling.